What's up everybody, it's Aidan here from Everyday Tech. So today we're just going to look at the basic setup for new YouTubers. Stay tuned. Okay everybody, so I'm just going to go through 8 things that I use and I think that will come in useful to you when you are starting out on YouTube. Now, this is just a guide. It's not set in stone. Everybody will have different opinions and different ways of doing things. But this is the way I like to do it without breaking the bank. So, in no particular order, I'll start with the thing that I think is most important, and that is a camera. Now, you can start a YouTube channel with just your mobile phone, as I started to. I mean, it was great. I was using a OnePlus 2 and I was using the front facing camera on a little mount. In fact, it was just like this. And yeah, I could see myself on the screen, but it wasn't ideal. The camera wasn't the best. Obviously, the rear facing camera was much better, but I couldn't see the screen. So what did I do? I go onto YouTube and I look for the best budget YouTube video vlogging camera, keywords like that. And what came up? The Canon M50. So after doing a lot of searching, I managed to find one on eBay. I got one, the cheapest one on eBay. Now, I was patient. I waited till those weekends where you can get 15–20% off certain categories. And one of them, there was 15% off an electronics category. So I managed to get a brand new Canon M50 with a 15–45mm lens for about £350, which is a bargain. Because if you go into any local store or anything like that, it's about £560. It came from Sweden. It came with a European plug, but it doesn't matter. It's the same camera. It has all of the same features, the same box. It just had to come from Sweden. So it can be done. You don't have to spend a fortune. You don't even have to spend this money. But this was I didn't want to buy a really cheap DSLR or mirrorless camera. I didn't want a second-hand one because you don't know what it's been through. Although there are some good second-hand ones. But getting a good camera was important. Is just a bit more functionality, and with the M50 you do have the flip out screen and I can see myself to the side, and with its autofocus it is absolutely fantastic. It really is one of the best purchases I've got. Another benefit of it is that you can connect it straight to your phone, which brings me to number 2. Is how do I edit my videos? Well, I do use my OnePlus 6T. I literally just use my camera and my phone. The camera itself has near field communication. So if your phone does, you just hold your phone up to the side of the camera. It connects to the camera, and then you can actually use your phone as a viewfinder. When you're using it, you can change settings on the phone. But you can also see what photos have been taken and what videos, and you can download them to your phone. Now, it won't work on every phone because you need to make sure it's got near field communication. It also works on Bluetooth, but it will depend on how quick it is and how well you can edit apps, depending on how many gigabytes your phone has, etc. Obviously, the more that it has, the easier it will run apps and run editing software, but the 6T seems to work very well. Okay, so the next thing is editing software. So myself, I use KineMaster, and it's a free app that you can download, and it is absolutely fantastic. It's a free to use app, and all that they do is they just put a watermark in the corner which just says made with KineMaster. You can pay a subscription of about £23 something per year, which will give you more features and get rid of the watermark. But to be honest, I don't need the extra features, and I don't mind promoting an app which I think will be useful to everybody else. it is absolutely fantastic. And depending on how many gigabytes your phone does have will determine how complex your videos can be edited. So for example, the OnePlus 6T has 8 gigabytes of RAM. I can do several layers of video and it runs it with ease. Previously I used my OnePlus 2, and even though it could edit videos in KineMaster, it did struggle when I was adding multiple layers. It was taking its time or it wasn't very responsive. But with this phone, it is much better. So it's just something to bear in mind, but it's not a deal breaker. If my OnePlus 2 can do it, I imagine so your phone can as well. Okay, so the next thing I think we should talk about is lighting. Right, so you can see my setup now. I'm lit reasonably well. I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I know how to do it perfectly, but I think I'm lit reasonably well. Now myself, I use these newer 480 LED lights, which I have facing away from me onto white walls to reflect it back onto me. Now I'm in a very small room. This is why I use these LED lights. Now they did cost me around £100 for 2 lights and 2 stands and 2 storage bags, but you don't have to spend that much. If you've got a slightly bigger room, use soft boxes. You can pick those up for as little as £30. And that, I think they do a pretty good job at lighting people. I think they are better. I just haven't got the room for a softbox. And I would like some in the future if I was to get a bigger studio. But as it is at the moment, I did have to spend a little bit more and get these LED lights just because I am limited on space. But again, you don't have to spend all this money on any lighting. You can use sunlight if you have it. But again, in the winter months, a lot of people have full-time jobs. If you're doing videos in the evening, like I'm doing now, there is no sunlight. And I have got a light on in the background, but it's not bright enough to light my face. I suppose I could have a couple of lamps here or there, but it's a cumbersome setup when you do that. So investing in some sort of lighting is ideal. You can buy LED battery operated lights, which you could put on a camera or on a stand and to light your face, or a ring light which may go around the camera. It's completely up to you. But for me, my newer LED lights are absolutely fantastic. Okay, so when I am using my camera, you've got to have a tripod. You can use books, you don't have to spend money, but getting a tripod does make things easier. It's easier to adjust. I mean, there are plenty of videos going, yeah, you don't have to spend money. You can just use books or boxes and place your camera on top. The problem is my camera is in a corner of a room. I'm not piling books 3 foot high. It's just a pain. I'm not picking them up and putting them down every time. And it's more secure to get a tripod. And again, I just use an Amazon Basics tripod. I think it cost me about £12 and it's absolutely fantastic. Again, it's not a Manfrotto tripod, but again, if I spent £200 on a Manfrotto tripod, just guessing the price, it's going to do the same job as this. It's not going to be any better because, well, it's just doing the exact same thing. So again, you don't have to spend a fortune, but I believe it's an area that you could spend money on. Another thing that is very important is a mic. Again, as you can see here, I have got a lapel mic, which does give me slightly better sound. You don't have to buy one, but if you don't, you'll find that your videos will be echoey. And nobody likes bad sound. It will lose viewers. So invest in a mic. You don't have to invest in Rode microphones or anything like that, or Sennheiser. This one cost me about £12 or £13 from Amazon. It came the next day. It plugs straight into my M50, which is why another reason why I got the M50. When you are buying a camera, make sure it's got a mic input. You don't want to just settle for a second-hand camera if it's not got a mic input if you are using it for YouTube, because then you have to get into recording audio separately and syncing it, and it's just more work that you don't need. So the next thing I advise you to get It's not something you have to pay for, but I have paid for a subscription for it, and it's TubeBuddy. Now, this is fantastic. It is free to download and it is free to use, and it does give you some useful tools that allows you to keep an eye on your YouTube channel. And it really is fantastic. Well, I won't go into too much detail, but it does allow you to monitor your channel. It gives you shortcuts. It gives you prompts to do things to make sure you get the most out of your channel. And when I'm using it if I use it on my laptop, it automatically integrates itself to my YouTube channel, and it'll remind me to make sure I've done thumbnails, I've commented, I've pinned a comment, I have created end cards, and obviously with that you can save a generic end card, like let's say an end card thing which you can then put on every video. It's just make life easier. Now, not long ago I had an email from them and it said, as a small YouTuber, you are entitled to get a pro license, a lifetime license. For me in the UK, it was about £33. And I jumped at the chance. I just paid for it and boom, I am there. Now, I may need a more professional TubeBuddy setup in the future, but at the moment, while I'm a small YouTuber, £33 for a lifetime pro license is amazing. And I do advise you that if you sign up to their free app, monitor your emails, they will probably send you an email to give you a upgrade for a one-off payment, and it is worth it. Again, since I've done the upgrade and gone onto the desktop side, my videos are slowly getting better because they are prompting me to do things that I might otherwise forget. So yeah, TubeBuddy, definite must. So guys, the last thing that you need for your YouTube channel, and it's probably one of the most important, is time. I try and make a video once a week. Now for me, it's usually Saturday or a Sunday, depending on how my weekends go. You've got to make time to do it without it encroaching too much on your personal life. You don't want it to interfere with your family life. You don't want your family being annoyed with you because you're doing too much, and you don't want to burn out too soon. When I first started, I was trying to make a video every Tuesday and every Thursday, maybe at a weekend, but it was too much too soon. So I decided to do just one video a week because it was easier for me to do so. My wife was happier because it wasn't taking any time during the week of our personal time. And it means I can be more consistent, which also helps with your YouTube viewing figures, because consistency is key. When people sign up to your channel, they want to know that they will get content from you that is valuable. And yeah, you've got to make sure that you are doing good content and it's relevant for the people that have signed up to your channel. So make sure you have the time. Plan. If you're at work, then just create a list. So list what you want to talk about, how long it's roughly going to take, because all these things matter. Script if you need to, because sometimes you waffle. I don't always script, and probably now you probably think, oh yeah, well actually, if I look back on that, he could have done better, and I know I could have done better. I don't always follow my own rules, but it does pay to do so. Guys, one more thing as well is when you are starting out your YouTube channel, follow other YouTube influencers. So, for example, my top picks is D Nimin and his brother Nick Nimin, and all their Niminati. They are absolutely fantastic. Justin Brown and video influencers, Roberto Blake. There's just so many people, and I can't tell you how much these people have helped me. They are absolutely fantastic. They give you videos on how you can improve your channel, how the apps work, how you can just use your mobile phone if needed. They give you so many hints and tips that it is unreal, and they are there to help you. So just bear in mind that you do have support out there, and there will be other YouTubers like me and you that will support each other. So comment down below, what is your YouTube setup? What do you want to improve and what do you want to buy next? So guys, if you've enjoyed this, please like. If you've really enjoyed it, please subscribe, and I shall see you soon.